Welcome.
Welcome to Nobody Cares Work Harder, starring Good Trouble and Risky.
First of all, apologies. Usually my idea for the length in between episodes does not take this long, but the reality of the matter is that we filmed the last episode and then my computer hit the shitter. And
Again.
for the second time I had not backed up my shit. Insert like booze and like this fucking idiot.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Like everywhere.
Get the tomatoes.
Especially with what we do.
You're getting the shoulder tap.
I'm getting the shoulder tap, y'all.
Shoulder tap on the podcast world.
Like, ma'am, you cannot have a podcast. Please. Get yourself sorted.
And now, some words from our sponsors. If you would like to be a sponsor on this podcast, please email us at itsriskymusic@gmail.com or goodtroubleofficialmusic@gmail.com.
I'm dead. Yeah, please sponsor us and get us better.
Because your sponsorship could be placed right here. Every podcast is sponsored by like Blue Chew. Like literally every podcast on the planet. Blue Chew is like a male enhancement like pill. It's like, hey guys, having trouble getting your willy up in bed? Yeah. We've all been there. Use my code GETHORNY at bluechew.com for 20% off your first order.
On this episode, we have a special guest with us. I call her Miss Whiteboard because in these stories, there's so many people that I feel like visually stick figures, because I can't draw worth shit, would probably help. So I'm sorry to all those who are just listening on Spotify. I would probably suggest getting your ass on YouTube because you will have a visual picture.
All right, Miss Whiteboard, can you just give a brief introduction about yourself?
Hi, I'm Miss Whiteboard, and I'm here to tell the truth and nothing but the truth and only the truth. Always. XOXO Gossip Girl.
Thank you.
We're telling some stories today, and for the sake of not getting our heads chopped off, we're going to change some names, and the stick figures on this whiteboard will help me keep track of the different names we have for these different people, because they're not their real names. Don't go and search them.
We're not going to get sued.
Or search them if you want to.
So let me tell you about this one time that I ghost produced for Skrillex. So we were in the studio. And
seek help. We're talking about first, we're kind of continuing part 2, the end of Daniel.
Boo. You fucking stink. Fuck.
The end of Daniel kind of trails into the start of Good Trouble, because I was not always Good Trouble.
Why don't you tell them your name? What was your name, Good Trouble?
My original DJ name was Sirena. Okay.
You mean Serena?
Everyone pronounces Serena.
Like Zoopstool?
And branding 101. Sorry, not sorry, guys. But if I feel like you need to be relatable as a DJ / producer, there's a whole branding to everything behind your favorite artists. They didn't just pop up out of nowhere and dress like that, look like that, talk like that. Well, maybe talk like that.
That's what they want you to think, though.
That's what they want you to think.
But like, you gotta have a cool name and a vision behind that. You can't just be DJ Bob. No one's gonna relate to that. What the fuck does DJ Bob mean?
I mean, I'm sure there are artists out there that just use their regular name and like great for them and that worked out. But I feel like it does not work for everybody depending on what you're trying to do. And I feel like if people see a name that's easy to kind of like put the picture together, then it helps your brand and it helps give people something to relate to.
Also, putting on a helmet does help. It's not necessary. It's not required, but it does help.
Put on a helmet.
I'll be putting on like a bucket on my head. I'm going to put a street cone on my head.
I can't stand you.
Starting tomorrow.
Anyways, so my original name was Sirena. Everyone pronounced it Serena, and I had called myself that because, like, all through my life, I love mermaids. I'm that girl. I'm like loving mermaids. Little Mermaid was my favorite movie. Like, purple was my favorite color, and like, I don't know, it's just like it works. And I got so many questions on how to pronounce it. Some people didn't even bother to ask how to pronounce it. What does that mean? Why? And like when you have to explain constantly and people don't, it just doesn't click, it's probably a sign that you should like rebrand.
I thought that was her real name. I was like, oh, her name's Serena, and she's Serena, the DJ.
Honestly, I remember at one point I said that I was going to start telling people that my real name was Serena because I didn't want anyone to know my real name. I didn't want anyone to know me that much because I had PTSD from this story.
You can find out any DJ's name by going on Spotify and literally looking up like who produced the song and the song credits.
Well, that's why I decided not to do that. So, anyways, so I'm gonna go ahead and start making some drawings. More so stick figures. So I'm gonna do me. Do my little triangles because Tim said girls wear skirts, even though we're in 2024 and that's not always the case.
Sundresses now.
Sundresses.
It's sundress season.
It's sundress season. I hate you.
Stay strong, boys. Stay strong.
I don't even know how to draw because you made fun of me last time.
You just said his name.
I don't even know how to draw Daniel. We'll go there. We can cut that out.
If you want to watch the uncensored version, you can't.
If you want to watch the uncensored version, you have to know me personally. And unfortunately, most of you don't. Every girl's going to look the same. Every guy's going to look the same. They're just going to be called different things. Why am I drawing another leg?
It's the third leg.
Nice car.
You so much.
Bro, why do these girls look like they're fucking related to George Washington?
Oh my god, it's curly hair. It's curly hair.
George
You're
Washington.
fucking racist, honestly.
How is that racist? They have these fucking... You're gonna see it. They all look like George Washington.
I hate you
Our very
so much.
first president for the children that don't know.
What was that other girl's name?
Everybody in my stories are just gonna have like the worst fucking names ever. Like, it's so bad.
I'm done. Okay, well.
GT.
This is our first set of people that we are going to introduce you guys to.
See what I'm talking about? It's okay. Mine wouldn't be that much better.
Go fuck yourself.
I'm admitting.
So we have GT. GT is me. Okay. We have Daniel. Boo.
Boo, you fucking suck, bitch.
We also have Addie and Charles.
You said Addie?
Addie. I forgot what her name was from the last episode. So, but this is Addie and this is Charles.
Charles.
Okay. Charles and Daniel are friends. They're acquaintances. Co-douchebags, if you will. Okay. I met Addie because myself and Daniel went out to an event after Izu, and it was an event that I've always been wanting to go to, and Charles was there. We all link up, and Charles is like, oh, she's DJing a Slink boat party. And I think it was end of the summer, so September. And I was like, no way. I'm DJing same party.
Run, Ricky, run. Run.
Same party. And this was in my comeback era, okay? I had gone a while without DJing much. I was in a very toxic 5-year relationship. Maybe at some point we will get into that, but not right now.
She hadn't met the king yet.
This guy.
She hadn't met the world freaking champ here.
Anyways. So I had played a I had played, there were 2 DJ Slink parties this summer. There was one in June for my birthday. That's the first one that I had played in a really long time. And then I had played a Henry Fong show after that. And when Slink was coming back, I was just like, bet. Like,
Were these
I'm in it again.
boat parties or just a
It was like
one?
a summer series of boat parties ran by a specific promoter. And I kind of liked them because you had to sell tickets, but there was like no stress on like, if you don't sell this much, like, fuck you guys.
You're
like,
not
you
gonna
can't do
play
it.
ever
It was pretty
again.
chill. And I did sell like a decent amount of tickets regardless. So it was pretty cool.
But she's hot.
But anyway, so back to the point of the story. We realize that we're playing the same show. And we start bonding. We exchange numbers. This is where I try my best to be a girl's girl because for some way, somehow, and don't you fucking come for me. Like he can attest, I try to be a girl's girl, but I think girls just don't like me. There's a specific kind of girl that likes me. And it's our friend Bianca. And that's it.
Bad bitches only.
Bad bitches like me. So we're texting. She drops the bomb on me that she has a boyfriend and she is also seeing Charles in secret. And Charles also has a girlfriend. Okay.
Where the baddies at?
At this point, because Daniel and Charles are friends and Addie is painting this picture to me like she's been mistreated in her relationship and Charles treats her so well and the goal is to like break up with their partners and be with each other. Okay?
But they're all just whores. That's really what it is.
Not all of them.
They're everybody in this story that's on this board, minus the one all the way on the left, is a fucking whore. So let's get that out there.
I don't think. Okay, I'm not gonna make judgments on Addie because I don't really know her anymore. But the 2 men are whores. I will
Yes,
say that.
definitely. Hashtag where the baddies at.
I'm dead. This fucking man.
Are the baddie bringing the baddies over? That's what one of these men said at one time. Is that like somebody's son?
No, it's.
Why are they like short?
We can mute this out, but it's gonna be.
Brody?
Yeah. Sorry.
The names are just great.
These are just.
I promise all their names are like a lot cooler in real life. They're normal.
Oh my god, I hate you.
Brody
so
just
much.
sounds like some fucking like college douchebag that's in a frat. This is my friend Brody.
I hate you so much.
And like Brody like goes around the parties and like puts shit in bitches' drinks. That's
I hate you.
that's what Brody sounds like. Brody in this story doesn't do that though.
I hate you so much. Holy shit. Okay, we have more.
Chupapi.
We have more
A lot of
stick
fucking-
figures. Okay. More people come into this. All right. So, Adonis and Addie.
Drake's son?
Nigga is hiding his kid from the world, but his world won't hide from the kid.
Drake's son is a part of this story, guys. Thought I dropped that bomb on there. If you want to know the full uncensored story about Drake's son, it's going to be $1,000 purchased at the end of the episode.
Okay, well, shut up. Adonis and Addie are dating, okay? Adonis is Addie's boyfriend that has been, quote unquote, mistreating her, mind you. Poor guy, I think he like had cancer at this time and was like going through it mentally. I'm not saying either person was right or wrong. I think both were maybe wrong in that aspect. The way that this went about was so bad, and that's all I have to say about that. But back to the original story. So the main event that brings all of these people together is this Slink show. So me and Addie are playing, and also Shane was playing. Now, what connects all of these people together is that these people, Eddie, Sean, Brody, they are in a guy DJ group together. This is getting really.
We're not going to give a name to the DJ group, please. Just
How do we? What would we say? Because like they're like all aligned pretty much.
But like we have to give them like a DJ name, like in the
don't
group,
know,
like an alter ego.
I don't know.
They're the Three Musketeers.
Yeah, there you go.
three. They're gonna hear this
Their
and be
DJ
like, "What
name
the
is the
fuck?"
Three Musketeers.
Hey, yo,
It's-
what the
I
fuck?
promise your DJ name is a lot better. Than
It
Three
is really
Musketeers.
cool, their real DJ name. We actually are still friends to this day, and they're really amazing, and everything that happened here was just a big understanding. Although I was, I think, around 25 at the time, still, like, I'm 31 now. I'm very much different from who I was back then, okay? So Eddie, Sean, and Brody are part of the Three Musketeers. They're part of a DJ trio, and they're great. Shane, Adonis, the Three Musketeers, Katie, I think, and Addie, technically, were all part of a DJ collective. We'll just call them the Cool Kids on the Block because that's what they thought
Cool
they were at
Kids
the
Club.
time. Okay. And now because Addie was DJing this show, the whole gang came along and I killed it.
As always.
I killed it. I don't know if we spoke about this on the last episode, but Daniel came. I think Charles was supposed to come, but he didn't. And there was some weird like talkings around that, but anyways, this whole time it's like a weird giddy back and forth between me and Addie because I'm thinking, go get your man, babe. Like, this is okay. Like, do what you got to do. If your man's not treating you right, as long as you're going to end it, like, it'll be fine. So she's telling me that there's going to be a plan to end it, and there's just kind of nothing. Like, it kind of just goes on, and I don't really question it, which I probably should have. But it also was none of my business at the time. So the conclusion to the story is like we all met through this show.
Yes.
We all
and they all
bonded.
became BFS until
Yes.
something happened, until a blackout happened.
Blackout did not happen. Well, it kind of did.
They did. So you guys, the girls in the group, the girls that were in the friend group,
Yeah.
decided to form their own Three Musketeers of Women.
Yeah, we were the women Three Musketeers.
Tell them what that group was called. Drum roll,
Well,
please.
first of all, I had to start off when we had this conversation. I was like maybe a few years older than them, and I kind of felt like I had the need to sit down with them and let them know, like, if we're gonna do this, we have to do this for real. Like, we're all dropping our individuals. We can do like little things here and there, but like, I can only focus on one brand at a time. Just some advice, because this is an advice podcast sometimes. Focusing on two brands, trying to build them up is like such a disservice to one or the other.
It's the reason why we've never formed an official like group, me and Christina, because it's like the thing is that it's so hard to build up one project, you know, and there's two projects right here. So that's now a third project that we all deal with, and that's a lot. And then you have to figure out what goes on that project, the branding, all that stuff. And then like also too, I mean, we both want to be our own individual people. So it's like, what happens if that group pops off? You know, there's a lot of times where groups are like really popular and then you would never know the people that are actually in their group. They're like personal projects.
Right.
Like
yeah.
you'd be like, oh, I didn't know. Like for example, like somewhat of an example, I didn't know that Yellow Claw had 3 people up until like, I don't know, 2018, I think. You know, like
He never knew the real ones.
no.
Knew.
And
Okay,
I'm
the
an
real
OG
ones
Yellow
we
Claw
knew.
fan, but I was also like in high school, so yeah. But
Anyways.
yeah.
So we had that conversation. I was under the understanding that this was going to be a real thing, and someone brings up the topic of like, what are we going to call ourselves?
Drum roll, please.
I hate to break it to you, it was not I that came up with the Good Trouble name. It was Katie. Okay.
They were called Good Trouble,
Good Trouble.
the trio.
Good Trouble was not always one single person. Good Trouble started as 1, 2, 3 people.
If you need to take a minute, like pause the podcast go recollect your thoughts and then come back and then resume. Let's all have like a moment of silence.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it.
I know that was a lot of information to handle.
It was. I know it's a lot. And I think she got it from the show, honestly, now that I think about it, because she did watch the show. So
Good trouble.
good trouble. Okay, so here we are. Good trouble. We think we're thriving.
The Powerpuff Girls medium.
So we announced to everybody that we are now a trio. And the collective as a whole decides to throw like a Halloween show. And like we're on the lineup, which is awesome. The show never happened. Not for me. Maybe for other people, but definitely not for me. So we get booked for the show. We start practicing with each other, and the announcement of this While She Fire Ape Drums show at Szymanski comes out. If you're a real one from New York, you know what Szymanski is. Okay? All right?
And if you're from LA like me,
Used to be Output.
we don't know what the
Like,
fuck that's called.
let's be for fucking real. It was a legendaric venue. Okay?
I mean, I'm pretty sure everybody that's watching this is at least like 12 years old, so they probably wouldn't know.
Goodbye. Anyways.
And now a word from our sponsors as we take a 30-second ad break. If you would like to sponsor this podcast, your sponsorship could appear right here.
Things randomly, I don't know. I call myself an empath. I kind of feel when energy shifts. Call me fucking crazy. I don't care. Don't look at the camera like that.
Looking.
And things between Addie had started becoming weird. Like, we weren't talking as much, that's for sure. And leading up to the show, she had announced on her main page that she was doing like a show as herself, as her original DJ self.
It's DJ Addy,
DJ Addie.
not DJ
And
Adderall.
I remember pre-gaming for this show with Katie because it seemed like me and Katie were growing closer of a bond. And I was like, what's going on with that? And even her reaction was like, I don't know, dude. Like, it's a little weird, but whatever, you know? And we get to the show. Mind you, we were pre-gaming off our White Claws, having a great time. And I black out at the show.
Dim the lights. It all goes black.
You guys don't know this, but Christina blacked out is...
Oh, it's a sight to see. Let me tell you. You shut up. A sight to see. A relationship wouldn't exist without a blackout. So I'll just leave that with you right there.
Oh my God.
Anyways, back to our regular scheduled programming. She blacks the fuck out.
And at this point, you guys have to understand I'm blacked out and I've been suppressing a lot of anger towards Addie. Okay. We get there. She doesn't say hi to us. She's on stage doing her fucking thing. And I just start like getting angrier and angrier.
She's literally like, fuck this bitch.
I only remember what some people have told me, okay? And it was not great. I was just so mad and like I wasn't able to verbally appropriately explain why I was mad. I was just having a fucking fit. And finally, when I got mad at Katie after this because she wanted to stay in the club. I was clearly blacked out. And to me, it's like a real friend would like help make sure I'm okay. You know what I mean? Like she wanted to sit me down in a corner while she partied. And I was just like,
That's crazy.
that was red flag number one, that I was just like, this probably isn't gonna go well. So yeah, who really saved the day was Sean. I can't tell which one is, if this is Shane or Sean. I probably shouldn't have named them similar names. This is Shane and this is Sean. Shane and Eddie, I don't think these two weren't there. It was Shane and Eddie who helped me like get back to my car. Mind you, I had to drive all the way back to New Jersey after this, and we were in New York. I had like stayed in my car and like slept for a minute, but like still.
Do not drive.
Do not.
Under the
I am not
influence.
condoning this. I have learned from my mistakes, and I will never ever do that
Okay,
again.
but when you were driving, were you blacked out?
Not really.
I love how she says pauses and says, "No, really."
Not really. Anyways, back to the original story. So they helped me get back to my car, and on the way back, I spill the beans, and I'm just like, Addie and Charles are fucking.
Wait. On the way back, like you guys were all in the car and you were just spewing out the bullshit, like driving over like the bridge and shit. Like they're fucking. That's insane. Wait, like who did you spill the tea to?
To Eddie and Shane.
Like, is it just you three or like they're
It was
all?
just us three.
Oh no.
Yeah. And then, mind you, they're all friends with fucking Adonis. Like, and they were like, what the fuck? And I now, after we have like resolved years later the situation, they had told me that they were asking me for proof, and for some reason, like, I could not give it to them. I don't know why. My drunk self, like, I had messages on messages from Addie, like,
This woman.
descriptive.
This woman has fucking like a receipts folder in her phone. Like, she's like, yeah, let me show you. It's on page 5. Go ahead, read it. Read it.
Anyways, so yeah, I couldn't pull up my phone and show them the receipts. So therefore, everyone thought I was a fucking liar, and that I was just hating on Addie, which was like not the case. I was just fucking pissed, and I was pissed for a reason, and I was rightfully pissed. But the way I went about it was not okay. You guys should communicate your feelings to your friends. That she wasn't really a friend, but you should communicate your feelings always, and that's that. So yeah, starts a whole, like, blows up a bomb, okay? And like nobody likes me, everyone unfollows me, like, per usual, I'm the one to hate. Okay.
She was the whistleblower. Don't
Yeah.
be a whistleblower.
But fast forward, give us some time. This one reaches out, Katie. We kind of have a heart to heart. She says, like, I'm not them. It's not that I don't like you. Like, I feel like we bond, and we continue our friendship. And through that friendship, we decide to restart Good Trouble all over
Then
again.
there were 2.
Then there were 2. And I was okay with that. But where it got tricky was that there were 2, and she was still friends with everybody. And there were moments where she would have complaints about them, and she would complain to me about them. And I couldn't help but think in the back of my mind, like, if this is what you're saying about them to me, like, what are you saying about me to them? Type shit, you know? And then came the point where a lovely little, what do you call those, remix competitions came out.
Splice remix competition.
Oh, I love me some Splice remix competitions. High key. This was like the first remix competition that I entered, like, original song, like using just like straight samples, because that was the point. You had to use the unique samples off Splice to make a song, and you got judged on it, rated first place through third place, and each tier got different prizes. So mind you, what was I? Third?
Yeah. Third place.
Third place, biatch. Third place on my first original song.
You should like put that in your bio. Like, fun fact, I'm a third place.
Third place
contest
contest winner?
contest
I
winner.
can't fucking stand you. I cannot.
I am Splice nominated. All right.
I pretty much like do this whole track while I'm on the phone with Katie on FaceTime, and she throws in like an idea over there.
Toot that.
She gave me an idea to throw in a sample, and like that was great and all, but the problem is that I was fully willing to submit the song as a duo. Like, when I'm committed to something, if we're in a group together, like, we all put our brains in it. You know, it was us no matter what. and she wasn't really feeling it. I don't know what the case was. I feel like we like moved past it and like there's no beef with each other, but I don't feel like I ever really got an explanation as to like, was I intimidating you? Like, she wasn't really a producer. So let's backtrack a little. We're entering this contest and we don't even make it to the end as a duo. I'm already individual Good Trouble by the time the winner is announced. And to be quite honest, I feel like we have talked since and we have moved past the situation, but I never really got an answer as to like, why exactly did you like not want to do it? Was it the fact that you were intimidated? Did you not like that I did most of the work? Like, I don't know, a lot of unanswered, non-closure things when it comes to that.
Tell them about what that aftermath was looking like when she left, because there was a certain thing that she did, and you might as well say it because it's just going to add to the story as far as like what's going on.
So we had made a separate account for Good Trouble Music, and I have been working my ass off, like literally being annoying as fuck, asking like everyone that was following me to follow the Good Trouble page, and we were like making way. Unique followed us on that page, like it was very much like up and coming, you know.
I followed that page.
Timothy followed that page, but one day I tried to log in, and for some reason, it said the account didn't exist anymore. Not that we were reported, not that like we were suspended, that the account did not exist anymore. And she swore it wasn't her. So I guess it was a ghost. I don't know how that happened or why that happened, but I was like infuriated. So in like some weird in between, I'd probably say maybe like a few weeks after the situation, I still had like my Serena account, and I just took it into my own hands. I was like, these girls aren't going to use the name. They have their own names, and I need a rebrand. So guess what? I'm Good Trouble now.
Look at me, sure. I'm the captain now.
And then there was one.
And then there was one. And there's been one ever since. I always had this idea that like I would love to have a partner to just strictly MC for me on stage, like my own busy. I think that'd be really cool. But like I also don't want to share like my money. I'm already going to have it split a million different ways. So like another person in there is like, I don't know. But yeah, so she still to this day will tell you that it was not her. And I don't think there's anything like I'm a grown ass woman. I don't feel like fighting that. You know, like if you say you didn't do it, you didn't do it. But I sure as fuck didn't do it.
As an outsider on this situation, I was obviously friends with Christina on the tail end of this duo.
Yeah, very much tail
becoming
end.
single, getting to meet everybody. I felt that their friendship was very inauthentic.
Right.
Not so much on Christina's part, but mostly on the other girl's part. You know, this was during COVID, obviously, and, you know, obviously maybe things could have been different in person, but just off of the few interactions that I had with Katie, it was very... I could just tell that there was, like, no respect in the room.
I just felt personally like she didn't really like me. And one of like the other red flags was like whenever I would like drink with her, I would always find myself like blackout. And you know me now, like I feel like I don't black out. Like I don't do that.
It's been a long time.
It's been a very long time. And whenever I would black out with her, it would be like really just like I could not remember anything, was acting weird, like just not normal. And like I don't know if it was like funny to her or what, or like whatever the case was, but I think what contributed to that was like me feeling like I always needed to catch up with her drinking wise. Like she could get fucking lit and like not black out.
But I feel like that's also a good lesson for people because obviously, like in this industry, there is a lot of alcohol.
Yeah.
There is a lot of narcotics involved, and you need to try your best to be strong and be responsible when you're doing these things or when you're with people that are doing these type of things. I'm not going to say that anything that they're doing is wrong, but you need to be careful because you got to think of it like for people that have never DJ'd or have never been given like a rider before. Basically a rider is that you give them a list typically of like things that you want in the green room, which is like your private room. Obviously if you're the headliner, you're gonna get a bunch, like pretty much all of the requests granted, you know, like if you're like, I want popcorn, I want pizza, I want this specific soda, I want this specific alcohol, you know, I need X, Y, and Z. Like for Steve Aoki on his, he has cakes but when you're obviously an opener, you know, the most you'll get is probably like guest list
bottle.
and a bottle. You're like literally, if you think about it, if you, let's say you somehow find your way of touring 3 to 5 times a week, that's 3 to 5 alcoholic bottles that is being given to you a week, and that is not healthy to be consuming that much. So I guess the moral of the story is, at least just from my perspective, is that don't ever feel like you need to catch up or play along with everyone just because they're having fun. You can have fun in your own way, whatever that's going to make you happy and comfortable. Don't do things out of peer pressure, as like we've often heard growing up, that you need to do these activities of like drinking and then eventually blacking out, because then that's how you like bad things can happen to you. You can obviously miss opportunities. I mean, the story of her telling how she blacked out and was like spilling the beans, I mean, obviously it's like to her friend group, and so it'll not be that big of a deal, obviously, but it's like, what if she's like with somebody that's like a promoter, a big time booker, and then now you're making yourself look stupid, even though what she was saying was the truth and stuff. It just, you don't want to make yourself look stupid. You don't want to make a bad impression.
And let me say, I did make myself look stupid that night as well, because I had AA and Dos Flacos. Love you guys very much. Thank you for like not using that night against me. But like they were there and they were super sweet. They were like helping me. I was crying, like they were like helping me through it, because at that point I was pretty much telling everyone I want to quit. I don't want to do this anymore. Like everyone's fake. Fuck this. Like that was kind of like the vibe I was getting. And those guys were there like not being judgmental. Like luckily, God forbid, like they were like a higher up or something looking at me like that, you know. It was just embarrassing, and it's not something that I look back on and I'm like, yeah, I'm super proud of that, you know. So I think the intention behind it was just me being very frustrated and hurt, and I wanted to actually, in my dream world, I wanted to tell Adonis one-on-one what was going on. And because I had let myself fester and get frustrated, it just came out in my blackout, and it was not good. But to also add to it, I feel like this is a good leeway. Bleep.
Uncensored version is $999. Just letting you know.
Katie comes up one more time and then we fade away. But this is a good time to kind of like lead into COVID and us and like what we did to like make the most of our time during that, because I feel like a lot of people just didn't do shit and then wonder why they're not like still getting fans, getting streams, doing whatever. Like they have the why not me attitude. And it was like, if you really wanted to do something, you would have done it still during that time.
Yeah, no, this is like definitely an interesting time period, because like this was basically like the end of 2019 going into like 2020, and everybody was like, oh, new decade, like this is gonna be the year, and like it was the year, all right, but
Yeah.
not the year that everyone was expecting.
To put into a timeline for you, I think the unique contest, the winner, it was announced like what, February of 2020, I think. I want to say.
Yeah.
Somewhere around there. Tim and I met
December
of
Like
2019.
I think it was like December 27th or 28th to be exact. Stop.
Cute. But yeah, so we met and we started working together, and he became my BFF before the boyfriend, but which is how you should do it.
I slid in, but like the right way.
LOL. Yeah, so I don't know. I feel like, listen, 2020 was fucking rough, but I feel like everyone who continued to release music, who continued to work on their social media, who was all up in those Twitch streams, like, come on. I feel like, for me personally, 2020 was like the beginning of like the rise for me, if that makes sense. Going from a bedroom DJ / bedroom producer to DJ that actually like plays shows and like bigger artists like my music and they're playing it out and et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, I think it was an interesting time period because I think the beginning of 2020 was kind of a transitional period for both of us.
Yeah.
Transitioning out of our friend groups. I had some friends that were pretty toxic, but I'd known them for years, so it's like, I don't know, sometimes you just get like comfortable and you don't realize like the toxic shit that's going on around you. And like it was when I got my first ever like big DJ support. Like I remember I forgot when it was. I think it was like January or something. But
I think it was December that happened.
No, it was in January because I remember it was in 2020. But it was like, I think like in February. It was something somewhere around the time, but it was definitely before the pandemic. But like, 4B had opened up his like Avant-Garde set with my remix, the No Bystanders one, if you're curious. And it was cool, and like it was like a crazy moment for me because I had never really had any artists play out my music before. So I was like, okay, like this is awesome. Like damn, like what's next? And then like that's when I started to see like the jealousy that comes within this industry. Like people can't be happy for you, for getting like one thing. They can't let you have one thing, which is kind of annoying. And so I was just not in the best headspace and like kind of didn't know who else to turn to. And then like I just turned to Christina because like I really didn't know anybody else, and I was like, well, she seems pretty cool, like maybe I can ask her opinion, because everyone was saying supposedly that I was just becoming the biggest douchebag ever because 4B played my song once.
He was not. Literally when he asked me that, I was just like, that kind of doesn't make sense. But I also think we dealt with so much. Like our stories are not similar, but similar in a way that we wanted to just fit in. Like we really wanted friends. And unfortunately, I think a lot of your younger years, you're not going to be friends with the people that you were friends with in high school when you get older.
Definitely not.
Definitely not. If you even have friends, I didn't fucking have real friends in high school. So there's that.
I have like one person from high school that like I talk to, and we've been friends since middle school, but like it's not on the level of like friends that I have now that I talk to on a regular basis. You grow apart from people, and I mean it happens in the music industry too. I mean, I'm sure we can all think about like friend groups that we had and like different phases that we went through.
I mean, one of our most intense stories is going to be involving another group of friends that like we no longer speak to, which is coming up soon. Like all these people are pretty much like no more for a while. And we find new friends, and then the same thing happens. It's like, I feel like life is life. There's going to be a rotation constantly. Some people you're just like not meant to be friends with, and they're only there for like a season, a season, a reason.
Yeah, I mean, like, this is basically like her story. This is like her show, and like, when I was telling like my story in the last episode, that was like my show, my story and stuff. And then like, as we transition into this next story, which will probably be in the next episode, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
It's becomes like our show because like now our friend groups connect with each other.
Yeah.
And that's when everything changes. Some for good, a lot of bad, but also a lot of learning lessons and like just holding people accountable to the way that they treat you, and not like just letting it slide because there's somebody you admire, like think we were just young and naive. I definitely was. I mean,
very much so.
I was like 21, 22 at the time. Yeah, I was like 22. And she was what, 27?
Probably.
Yeah. And so it's like we didn't know any better, and like it's just like I said, over time, like you will go through different groups of friends, and then I feel like at some point you will kind of stumble upon like your core group has been your friends for years. Like, we have friends that we've been friends with for years now that like they're welcome into our home. They're at every show, and it might take you a really long time to find that, but like once you find your group, like you guys gotta stick together like fucking super glue.
Oh yeah.
And
move
mountains.
Let's talk about how we ended up transitioning into this new friend group. Let's kind of like give some backstory. So these people, we say bye-bye for a while. Like everyone going through some shit needs their space, need their time. Eventually, I'm not going to go like too much into detail, but in the midst of us transitioning these friend groups, we me and Shane and me and Katie basically have a conversation via DM and kind of just squash it. And I end up showing the proof that everyone was looking for, therefore deeming myself not a liar. Proof! I may be dramatic, but I'm not a fucking liar. I'll say that straight up. Like, I'm not. And eventually the receipts came out. So, in the midst of all this, like, and I think, oh, you know what? I lied. We did too. Theirs was later than them. But we did have a conversation and squash it. So all of us end up having a conversation and kind of just squashing it and being like, I respect you. You respect me. Like, no one was correct in that situation. And like, let's move on. So.
Everybody goes bye-bye like Game of Thrones.
Yeah. But with that, that's not a permission to just get up and be best friends again. Like, it took me and these guys a while to like kind of like bond more so. And Katie I don't speak to, and Shane I don't really speak to. I wish them the best, but like I don't really.
I also feel like it was kind of hard for you to become closer friends with like the Three Musketeers, because by the time you guys had really talked about and squashed it, like you were pretty much already on your way to Vegas. Like,
yeah.
It's kind of hard to like be friends with people that you don't live with, or live near, which is like really annoying.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. But let's talk about it. So as I backed away from all these people, I backed towards this one.
She backed it up on me.
Goodbye. And then we made our first remix. Bazooka is still on SoundCloud. Go listen to that. And actually, don't listen to that. I feel like I listen to that now, and I'm like,
it's still decent. It's still decent.
Okay.
I
mean, we literally made the song, and I was so confident in it at the time. I don't know why. That we're not going to be able to make a stick figure for him just yet, but he is the main Who's the bad guy? Is it protagonist or antagonist?
Antagonist.
He's the antagonist in our next episode.
He's the Thanos.
He's the I think we still have that picture. What was the name we came up for him?
I don't remember the names that we had for them.
Stan.
Stan. Fucking Stan.
Stan is part of a DJ duo who, I mean, we thought were legends back then. Like, legends, Jungle Terror legends. Like, just, wow. What should we call their DJ duo? Let's just call them the two BFFs. The two best friends that anybody could have. That's their DJ duo name.
We're like pretty best friends.
They're
We've been through everything.
Best friends till this day. So, two BFFs and Stan. Stan is the leader of the two BFFs, and he was doing Twitch demo streams all through 2020 to 2022 or something around there.
2021 definitely, and I think 2022 kind of just like
Fading out in
like
2022.
completely said we're not doing this anymore.
Yeah. Once we got the seal of approval for that song, we were so comfortable sending more, and we were in there every week.
Yeah,
Every week in that Twitch stream.
We were always sending in something.
He was using COVID to his advantage and doing Twitch streams like almost every other DJ.
But I think he was honestly the first to be on the wave, high key.
Yeah, he was one of the
Before
first.
everybody
for sure.
else was doing it, I
Yeah.
remember his was the first. So props and shout out to him for being the first on the wave, because we didn't know what to do.
Yeah, we had this music, but
nobody knew
no
what
one was
to
gonna
do.
hear it.
I mean, if you weren't making music then, but you're now making music now, nobody, there was no plan. We were not prepared for what was going on in the industry, and all the shows is coming to a complete stop.
And TikTok was out, but I think this was pre everyone realizing that you could utilize TikTok to shoot your music into tons of fucking dimensions.
It was in its infancy stage for sure. I mean, obviously TikTok had already been around, and before TikTok's Musically and stuff, but I just feel now it's on a whole other level. It's Final Boss, Thanos level.
Yeah, it's people care more about your TikTok stats than your actual music nowadays. That's the crazy thing. But we'll get to that later.
But yeah, so we do this Bazooka remix, and it's funny because this is the first project we'd ever worked on, and I really liked all the stuff that she was doing, and I was yeah, let's work on something, and she liked that song. I liked it too, and I remember she was still new to the music production game and everything, and she was just should I ask Makla for the stems? And I was well, I mean, you can, but I was I don't know if they're gonna give them to us. We don't need the stems. And she's just what do you mean? How are we gonna do the remix? And I was just honey, let me show you something. Showed her how to use EQ8, and she was blown away. And we made our remix easy.
Baby Good Trouble was astounded.
She was oh my god, he knows how to do that. He's so hot.
Oh my god, Timothy.
I'm drenched.
Ew, please stop. That was not what happened.
No, that wasn't how. She doesn't want to admit it, but
Oh my god, goodbye. Anyways, so clearly we got comfortable. We were in every one of his Twitch streams, even if they weren't demo streams.
yeah. But we were always sending something. Either I would send something, she would send something, or we just do collabs. We always had something to, and it was cool. It definitely helped build the community, help introduce people to each other. Felt it was a lot easier to get a hold of people during COVID because everybody was home.
Yeah.
If you wanted to catch an artist's attention, that was kind of the time period. So there was some advantages to it, but the advantages really couldn't pay out, because there was no shows, there was no touring, there's nothing. So it's you could have a song blow in the pandemic and stuff, and that's all great, it happened to me, but it's just how do you capitalize on that? Because I feel like the two really big remixes that I put out that blew up in the pandemic, if they blew up today, that could change some things for me. But because it happened in the pandemic, now it's like, well, that's old news. So, but we were there every week contributing and like obviously like giving our feedback to the community and like just meeting everyone, and everyone was cool. Like I'll admit, like on the surface level, like everyone was really chill, really nice, and it seemed like a very open arms community. And
Honestly, I was like giddy. I felt like I had like found my group of friends. Like the way we were all like chatting together, like in those Twitch streams. But like I look back and sometimes I'm kind of just like, because again, he gave us rave reviews all the time. Like some constructive criticism sometimes, but mostly rave reviews. And I'm just like, I look back and I'm like, did you really mean that? Or were you just trying to like get our like Twitch subscriptions? And like,
I honestly, now that we're bringing that up, I kind of feel the same way, and I kind of always felt that way because
think
okay,
so?
like because and here's why. If you ever go into like, I don't know, like the
like
Space Yacht still
any
does
other
it.
demo stream.
Space Yacht still does it.
Like, they're tough.
They're like giving you brutal feedback, and I won't say the name of the label, but there was one, I think, if I recall, similar genre. They were doing demo streams for a little bit. I think somebody on their team was like, "This is trash," or something, like just going in on people. And like, I mean, there's a way to do it. Like, you don't have to be a dickhead and be like, "This is fucking garbage." But you can be like, critical. I feel like a lot of people were doing that. Even like, I'm thinking of even another label, dream label for her and for me too, but definitely for her. And this dude, imagine your idols like listening to your demo, and he's just like, pauses the song, and is just like, I fucking hate this Jersey Club shit. I fucking hate Jersey Club. Like, this shit is so corny, or just whatever. They just like ripping it to shreds. Not even so much ripping the song into shreds, but just like, I hate Jersey Club. And it's like,
It wasn't really like that. I didn't take it to heart, but I was just like, it kind of shocked me because I know they had Jersey on their label before. They've had Jersey remixes, so I'm like, damn. And fun fact, little preface into the future, this company, this label hates Jersey Club, but fast forward to 2024 and they're releasing a literal Jersey Club track, song, an EP with a beautiful woman. Like, love her to death. This is nothing against her, but I'm going to talk a lot in this podcast about common themes, and a lot of common themes in this industry is a lot of big machine labels, booking agents, whatever. They love the idea of a model DJ. A model DJ is a beautiful woman, beautiful body, like, and she makes music and she DJs. And most of the time they don't even make their own music. They have someone ghost produce for them and they just DJ. So
and this goes for men too, because I do
Yes.
like hear stories of like Spinning Records was doing that for a lot of the big room guys back in the day. Because I mean, if you ever look at like some of the DJs of Spinning Records, and I'm talking about like guys, they're like good looking guys.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
like damn, bro, like you're gonna ruin my girl's life. Man.
literally.
But and like that's also what you're saying is you're not saying that
It's not a diss to her. It's more so like if any record label saw that, like because of course what any company is going to do, they're going to look through your socials. They're going to see what you look like. They want to see what your stats are, because at some point, if the benefit does not weigh out for the label, then it's not going to make sense.
Right.
For either person, because a label wants someone who's already established pretty much, so that way like their label could find new fans, and then maybe like the artist can find new fans too, but like the label wants to profit off the artist.
And for the record, we're not like, if anybody can kind of pinpoint who we're talking about, we're not insinuating that they're ghost produced or anything.
Oh, yeah.
Like they have really good music that we play all the time. We're just saying that in general,
Right.
because like we've seen a lot of that. So not that's like what we're saying, that we're not saying that that's what they are, but it's just that's usually a common theme. I mean, honestly, it was even a common theme for Christina. I mean, I remember like when I first was like meeting her, and like I would talk to my friends about her, like everyone thought that she was getting ghosted for, or that I was ghosting for her, or like, and I was like, no. I was like, she's pretty fucking good. Like, just it's a common theme for women in general, not just like model women, but women in general. Like, I feel like there's like this prejudice, like as soon as like they're like, oh, female artist DJ, well, does she make her music? Because like,
Or like, what does she look like?
yeah, like, because like women don't know how to make music, apparently. Don't know how to use computers. I mean,
And listen, a lot of people are breaking this stereotype, but like we're not 100% there yet. So anyways, back to the point. Like, it didn't work out. People were really brutal in these like Twitch streams, and whenever we were in Stan's Twitch streams, we would like get a standing ovation all the time.
and I just feel like he was always being like just way too nice to everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, there was some songs.
There were some songs that he was like, sir, what are you doing?
No, but there was some songs that I was like, this is just absurd. Like me and Christina, we'd be like texting each other while we're watching the stream or something, and I'll be like, what the fuck was that song that just got played? And she'll be like, for real, like, dude, that like it was just like a really weird song, or like I don't know. And then like
It would be a Jersey Club remix, and someone would put the acapella chop on the kick. If
Oh,
you do
yeah.
that, we need to. I just want to talk.
And-
Okay.
and for people that don't know what that means, it means like, if let's say the vocal you're chopping is like a what, it's like vocal, like that's the sample. You don't want to put the what on every Jersey Club, because you can't have what.
Okay,
what,
so
what,
put it
what,
into
what,
perspective.
what.
Obviously, like for people that don't know, the Jersey Club kick is like, right?
Yeah.
Like people would like literally put like a vocal chop on top of every beat, on top of every kick. And I'm sorry.
There have been like very few instances where that actually works.
No.
I'm saying it if I've heard it before on certain things, very, very few. I'm talking like under like 3 times. And I'm like, okay, this kind of works. But it's really not a good strategy. The strategy is you're using the kick pattern and you're using the chops for a groove.
Yes, for another groove on top of the groove. A million groove. Jersey Club is just a million grooves on top of one, and it's beautiful. And if you don't fucking know how to do it, please stop.
No, I mean, I encourage people to learn how to do it, but
Learn
also
how to do
if you
it
don't,
properly.
but if you don't know how to do it,
Ask for
that's
help.
fine. Ask for help.
Ask for help. We will help you.
Honestly,
Let's get a tutorial for them.
this is how you make Jersey Club 101.
Or like that fucking meme video of the Jersey Club. We gotta put it in
Oh
here.
my god.
Hello there. Today I'm going to show you how to make a Jersey Club track.
Nah, but why is everyone doing that now? Just about any BPM will work for this. 130, 140, 150, 160. It really depends on how dank you want it, but we want that booty poppin', so I'm gonna go with 160.
Oh my god. I mean, it kind of was fire. I'm not gonna lie. The song that they did.
But it's like, honestly, as far as like, I don't know about other niche communities in dance music and stuff, because I'm really only a part of one, but like, as far as the Jersey Club scene is, I feel like almost the majority, so like 90% of the people are pretty accessible. So it's like, if you're respectful,
Yeah.
you show love, and then like you like create a connection with some of these DJs that you actually like and care about, you know, at some point when you're like, hey, like I make music too, but like I don't know like if this sounds right, because like your ear's untrained, like you don't just come out and start making Jersey Club music or just music in general and just know how to make fucking like the greatest songs ever. Like
course.
it doesn't work that way. And so like build relationships with people and ask for advice. And I mean, honestly, I feel like most people give pretty good advice.
But before you even get to that step, before you even do that, please, for the love of God, go on SoundCloud and listen to like good Jersey Club tracks and listen to the chops that they are doing and the samples that they are using. And you listen to those songs so much, like it's very hard to not
But this
adapt.
is the thing that I think people are misunderstanding when you say that, because what is good Jersey Club? A lot of times there will be people that will hear Jersey Club or what they think is Jersey Club, and it's like the vocal on every kick, and they think that that's cool, and so then that's what they do.
How about this? If you guys want us to make a playlist of what we deem is good Jersey Club, which quite frankly, top tier listener over here. Okay, I'm just saying I will toot my horn when I can toot it and boot it. But like, if you want us to make a literal good Jersey Club playlist, they should like comment or like 5-star the podcast. Or if you're on YouTube, comment. And if you are on Spotify,
We can make a playlist. I would say we can make it on SoundCloud. 'Cause
yeah,
feel like
I would do
there's
SoundCloud
more-
only.
There's more remixes on SoundCloud that you'll get to see the full picture of like what we're talking about. Even if you don't like agree with our taste or anything or like our playlist, I think what is absolutely necessary that I encourage everyone to do if they're interested in like making Jersey Club or even like just becoming a fan, want to know more about it, is do your history. Like
Literally.
do some research, like listen to people like Slink, Natus,
Tim Dollar.
Tim Dolly, yeah, exactly. Stevie G, Unique. Look up the Brick Bandits.
Yeah.
Like Google that stuff and understand like where this
You said
originally came
Tamil,
from.
right? Tamil.
No,
Yeah, Tamil's the
Tamil.
creator of Jersey Club,
No,
along
yeah,
with Tim Dollar, I think. No one's asking you to write a fucking 5-page essay on like Jersey Club, but like if you just like put a few names into Google, put Jersey Club into SoundCloud, and like look for those people, it's
Yeah, just see
pretty
where it came
obvious.
from, because it like people don't realize that like Jersey Club was not like an EDM genre when it first came out.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's not this new genre that popped out like 8 years ago.
Yeah.
You know, like it's a genre that's been going since like the early 2000s, late 90s possibly.
There's actually documentaries on it now. The Serato has a great documentary with Unique on it. That's literally amazing. And
There was this one on Vice City too that was pretty good, but I don't know what happened to it. Like there's only like one, there's like a 3-clip series and like only one of the clips exists. But kind of just goes over how they started it, how Tamil like brought it,
yeah.
into like Jersey and stuff like that. But yeah, just do your research and like listen to those songs and then like see how that applies to the Jersey Club that you hear today. That's because there is like still like that original like Jersey Club sound, and there's like the EDM Jersey that like we
Right.
do and stuff. So do yourself a favor. I encourage everybody to just like kind of learn and see where it all came from.
Yeah.
But anyways, that is going to be it for this podcast. What we will dive into a lot deeper in the next episode will be how
Stan.
our relationship with Stan grew and like how it all fell apart through Stan and like Stan's label and like the people that worked for that label. Talk about how everything was great and how we really felt like we had discovered like some great friends, and just we talk about the downfall.
Unfortunately, we did not discover great friends. So,
Yeah.
but yes, say goodbye to the original gang of BFFs during the initial Good Trouble stage. We unfortunately never get close, but it is what it is. Some people, like I said, are here for a season, a reason, whatever. And we will introduce our new gang of stick figures next time.
George Washington's.
That's an even bigger one, so God help us for that. It was fun. Rate us like 5 stars or something. Like,
If you want to be a sponsor on the podcast, just let me know. If
I
you
would love
want
a
the
sponsor.
uncensored version.
I would love a sponsor. If you want the uncensored version, hit me up in the DMs.
For the tea.
I'm kidding. It's not that serious, but
Really isn't.
okay, bye guys. Thanks for listening. We love you. Bye. Ah!